Good morning. This is our last Christmas Mass for the year 2023. And I would like to give a very short report on our Masses from last night. We started with the 4 p.m. Children's Christmas Mass. I must admit, it was a zoo here. We got a beautiful church. The main body can seat about 1,500 people. And to my left is the chapel that can accommodate 250 people. And then we have the narthex and both sides of the church. It was a crowd at 4 p.m. And the beautiful choir, the children's choir, sang so beautifully. All that tells you how great and wonderful and beautiful we are as a parish family. And at 7 o'clock, the second Mass, we had a full church. I would like to know. I like you to know because we have lots of people, your families and friends, and people who have not been here maybe for a while. They all come to the Christmas Mass. And we had the midnight Mass. At least about 400 to 500 people attended that Mass. And then about 2 o'clock, I went to bed. That was the shortest night I had ever. About 2 to 3 hours of sleep. But Father Trey and myself, we teamed up together for the 3 Masses last night. And then this morning, Father Trey had the first Mass, and I agreed to do the last Mass for Christmas for us. So I just want to say, if you are, I know you're visiting, or if you are relatives or friends, we are glad that you are with us for Christmas. And if you are in Friendswood and around the area, and if you are still looking for a place to worship, I can assure you, Mary Queen is the best. True? It is a wonderful parish. It didn't take me much long to understand how great this parish is. Very welcoming, very active, and I have to say, I thoroughly enjoy being here at Mary Queen as your pastor. But as we celebrate Christmas today, my thought go back to my own school where I grew up. I went to a Catholic school, and the nuns taught me. Those days, you probably know the nuns, I don't want to say they were mean, they were very strict. I remember particularly Sister Grace, who was our class teacher. She had a beautiful nativity set that she cherished so much that was carefully kept in her closet. She would choose her best students every year around Christmas to set it up on the crib. I never figured out whether best was an intellectual or a moral judgment, because in either case, I wasn't chosen to prepare the crib. While they were setting it up one year, this incident happened when one of the boys accidentally knocked against the table with a crib on it. The statue of the shepherd fell to the floor and broke in half. Tommy was his name. He was so petrified at what Sister Grace would do to him for destroying one of her most cherished statues. But Sister Grace did not get angry. Sister Grace was so kind that she did not scold Tommy. She bent over and picked up the broken statue and put it close to the empty manger crib. We will leave the broken statue here, she said, and after Christmas, when Jesus comes, we will glue it back together again. Then she looked at all of her students and said, that is what Christmas is all about. That's what Christmas is all about. We are all broken people. Jesus came to the world to glue us back together again. Many years later, I discovered a quote from Eugene O'Neill, the American playwright, who said, "Man is born broken. He lives by mending, and Jesus is the glue to put us together back again." While preaching at the midnight Christmas Mass here several years ago, almost 18, maybe 20 years ago, in the old church, I asked hundreds of people gathered, what have we come to celebrate tonight? Have we come to commemorate the birth of Jesus who is born to us? If so, would you please do me a favor, I said. Please, don't forget to take Jesus with you as you go home. Would you give him a ride with all your family? Please talk to him and listen to him as you ride back home with your children. Also have a place in your home for him. Have him go with you to work. Take him wherever you go. In other words, keep Christ not only on Christmas, but as a champion, as a companion, and a friend every day of our lives. Now more than ever, living in times so troubled, facing future so uncertain, we need such faith that Jesus is with us. We need more joy and peace this Christmas amid all our material concerns and frantic worries about what will happen tomorrow. We must accept the reality that Christmas is a spiritual event, and Christmas decorations and gifts are important, but less important than the spiritual gifts of love, peace, joy, love, patience, and understanding. Christmas must be something inside us. We are pilgrims together in our land and in this world, in these difficult days, wending our way home to God. We gaze once again on the crib. Jesus is surrounded by poor shepherds, including the poor parents, Mary and Joseph. The shepherds were the simplest people and closest to the Lord. They found him because they lived in the fields, keeping watch over their flocks by night. They were there to work because they are poor. They had no timetables, no schedules in life. Everything depended on the flock. They could not live where and how they wanted, but based on the needs of the sheep they tended. This is where Jesus is born, close to them, close to the forgotten ones of the peripheries. He comes where human dignity is put to the test. He comes to ennoble the excluded, and he first reveals himself to them. Not to the educated, not to the learned, not to the rich, not to the most important people the world considers, but to the poor class, poor people. Jesus wants to come into our lives in our experience of being weak, frail, inadequate, perhaps even messed up, broken. And that's what Jesus has come for, to mend our relationship with God and with one another. Pope Francis says, let us return to Bethlehem. Let us return to the origins, to the essentials of our faith, to our first love, to adoration, and to charity. Let us look at the Magi who make their pilgrim way. And as a synodal church, we are all journeying. We are a journeying church. We journey together. Let us go. Let's go to Bethlehem, where God is in man and man in God. There the Lord takes first place and is worshipped. There the poor have the place nearest him. There the shepherds and magi were joined in a fraternity beyond all labels and classifications. Let us rouse ourselves. A light has been lit, a kindly light, reminding us that in our littleness, in our humility, we are beloved sons and daughters, children of the light. Brothers and sisters, let us rejoice together, for no one will ever extinguish this light. He is born to us today, the light of Jesus, who shines brightly in our world. And so from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to send all of you my warmest greetings to all of you and for your families, peace and goodwill, and Jesus always in your heart. Merry Christmas to all.